Hey everybody, David Patrick Green, davidpatrickgreen.com, hackhollywood.com, actorpower.com. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about probably the single most important determinant in success in your acting career, and that is self-belief. Now, self-belief sounds like some kind of pie-in-the-sky concept. Oh, I believe in myself, therefore I'm going to be successful. Or I don't believe in myself, therefore I won't be successful. Well, there's a certain component of truth to that, but the real truth is you can develop self-belief, and once you do, then you can go and be successful, even if you have zero self-belief now. Right now, many of you watching might be thinking, how am I ever going to become a successful actor? Because I don't have the first clue how to do it. And I completely understand, because I was in the exact same situation as you not that long ago. So what changed? Well, I developed self-belief. So let's talk a little bit about what self-belief is and how have you ever had it, and once you've had it, how can you apply that to acting? So when is a time when you've felt the most confident? Or when have you seen someone else who's extremely confident? We've all had people in class who are always raising their hands. Me, right? They're kind of annoying because we don't know, and we're not enthusiastic about sharing the fact that we don't know, but they do know the answer, and so they are really excited to share that with the teacher in the class. And whatever the motivations are, when people learn something and they can do it, they want to do it, generally speaking. I mean, that's what gives them enthusiasm to practice and train really hard so that they can become good and then show an audience what it is that they can do. Because, you know, there's a certain amount of self-gratification when you're good at something, but there's also the audience gratification component. You know, when we are good at something and we show people, it brings joy to them as well. And I think that's why we all like to have an audience when we are at our best, because it's not enough to just be good on your own in the bedroom. It's really not complete unless people see it and they can share our enjoyment. Okay? So you've seen people in class, maybe you're an athlete, you play sports, you've seen people who are super confident about being on the team. Oh yeah, pick me. And they're just naturally really good at what they do. And you're kind of thinking, wow, if I only had that ability, I could be a professional athlete. Because some of these people who have a lot of natural ability don't have a strong desire to make the most out of it. So what's really important is that you have self-belief in exactly what it is you're good at, and you have the desire to share what you're good at with others. Because there are people with a lot of ability who don't have the desire, and there are people without a lot of ability who have a lot of desire. And between those two people, the one that will be successful 100% of the time is the one with the desire, because you can overcome lack of natural talent, but you can't make up desire. You either want to do something or you don't. I suppose people could be forced into doing things that maybe initially they didn't want to do, because what do we know about what we want to do when we're little kids? And so sometimes we have to be forced down the garden path, but at some point you have to fend for yourself and you have to want to do it for yourself. You're going to have to make that decision. It's going to come to you either naturally, again, like talent, it can come naturally, or it can be explained to you by others, sort of like I'm explaining to you now. So what is self-belief and how do you apply it to acting? So self-belief is really just an understanding of what it is you are really good at? What skills do you have? So if you don't have any skills right now, that's fine, because you can develop skills. So if you have no self-belief because you have no skills, then develop the skills. For instance, when I started out in acting, I didn't know what I was doing. I had no concept of what acting really was. I don't know, you get lines and I don't know what you do with them. So I took acting classes, and little by little I gained confidence because I was getting positive feedback, and I kind of felt it that maybe I was doing okay. I was believable, I was watchable. So I kept going further and further with it, and my confidence crept up and crept up and crept up. Now, I thought, like many actors, that I could do anything, and I wanted to do anything and everything, and I've heard a lot of actors say this, and I probably said it myself. I didn't want to give up the opportunity to do comedy, and focus on drama. I wanted to keep myself open for everything. And the thing is, at the highest levels of pretty much everything, whether it's sport, academia, whatever it is, the higher the level, the more specialized things get. Because we only have a limited time on Earth, and we can't be amazing at everything. And so you need to recognize that being a specialist is extremely important and extremely beneficial. The sooner you block out your ideas of being good at everything, and the sooner you figure out what you could be best at that also appeals to you, the sooner people will recognize that and let you do those things for them on their projects. So once I figured out what I was good at, suddenly I started booking jobs. Now, it also helped that I showed somebody else that I was good at just helping out, because I was basically interning at the time when I booked my first acting jobs. And by getting in front of people, I was able to show them that I was good at being helpful at a really low level. And this is a great lesson. It's much better to help people at a high level people at a low level, so that you can then get the opportunity to help them at a higher level, than it is helping someone at a really high level who's a low level person. Because it's just not really going to get you any attention, because low level people aren't getting any attention. So if you can help a big shot at a low level, then they can give you opportunities at much, much higher levels. So think about what it is that you're really good at. And if you're not really good at it yet, then when you start taking acting classes, you'll figure out what you are good at. Some people may say, oh my gosh, you're hilarious, or oh my gosh, you are so compelling. When I watch you, it makes me want to cry, or I really feel that you are going through this. It's so compelling. Whatever it is, there's going to be certain roles that you're much better at than others, and there's certain things that you're much better at than others, just because of who you are naturally. So it's really important, especially early on, to match up what you're naturally good at with the roles that you go after, what you're most believable at, because that's where you can book a role, is believability meets skills. If you've got skills, but you're not believable at that thing, like let's say you wanted to play the character of Thor, but you are really short and really skinny. It's just not going to look right if you can't pick up Thor's big hammer and, I don't know, I can't remember if he wears, the horns on his hat, but if you don't look powerful like Thor does and you can't pick up his hammer, then they're probably not going to hire you, okay? Now, there are ways to overcome certain things, but early on, go for the things that you are most right for, based on what you're believable at and based on what you can do, okay? Where those two things meet is where you will book jobs, because there are going to be things that you are going to be just a great choice for, better than almost anyone else, okay? And you're going to have those instincts to say, I don't necessarily love this. This isn't my dream acting job, but when I read that, I feel like I could do this in my sleep. That's the kind of stuff you should go after, because if you get that stuff early on, then you'll build trust. And then when you have trust, people know, like, and trust you, then you can show them what else you can do. Okay, so it's much better to go up to a high level and move laterally than it is to just move laterally and try and move up all at the same time. Because again, there's only so much time and there's only so many skills that you can develop quickly. So really just work on one thing at a time. When you get good at that, then you can try out something else. And if you're good, then they'll let you do it. And if you're not good, they're going to say, why don't you just stick to brain surgery? You're not a good heart surgeon. Okay? So belief really comes from having the skills and the ability to help others. And like I said, having an audience. But now, so on top of your belief in your specific skills and what it is you can do, then you have to figure out who it is you can help. Okay? So you need to figure out who the people are that are doing the projects and offering the roles that you would like to be a part of. And once you have the ability, which gives you the belief and the desire to have an audience, and then you figure out who it is, it can be sort of your audience, who's going to put it out in front of a mass audience, then you can go help those people, go approach them, and let them know what it is you are capable of and how you can help them. Because if you are right in what your abilities are and what you can do for them, they will be thrilled to hear from you, because every single role is really hard to cast. Think of it. Some writer wrote something about some person that, generally speaking, doesn't exist. And even if they did exist, that person is not going to play the role. If you're writing about some real life spy, but he doesn't want to be an actor, then some actor is going to have to play it. And so if you see yourself as this character, then you need to approach the people who are producing this material and let them know what you're capable of. Now, if you don't have any acting credits, no professional credits, it's very difficult to approach people, whether they're casting directors or agents or producers, directors, whomever. It's very difficult to approach them, because how do you let them know what it is you can do for them? Well, that's where it's really important, again, to help them at a low level first. And that can mean doing anything, okay? Whether it's internships, just volunteer your services. Figure out what other skills do you have that might be useful to them, okay? I make the best coffee in the world. I actually do. I roast my own beans, and my coffee is freaking delicious, okay? So what else can you do to help producers, casting directors, agents, people that you want to connect with because they're connected with what you want to do? If you can help them at a low level, then you will gain their trust. And then when you say, hey, you know what else I can do? This role or what have you, then they will take you seriously. And chances are very high they will let you do it. They will let you at least try it. And if you're good, they're going to hire you. So that's pretty much what I have to say on the subject of self-belief. It's incredibly important, but if you don't have it now, you can develop it with skills, but develop the specific skills that are going to help you get jobs right away, because that's what you're naturally good at. And reach out to the people who are making the projects and creating the roles that you would be most interested in and best at, and develop relationships with them any way you can at any level you can. Because once you make a combination of all those things, basically their needs meets what you have to offer, then that equals acting jobs, happy producers, happy directors, and you get to have an acting career. I hope that was helpful. I enjoyed talking to you guys. Please share this with people that you think it might be useful to. Like the video, and subscribe to my channel so you get notifications of other videos that are similar. And if you have any questions or comments, thoughts on other topics you would like to hear about, let me know, and I'd be more than happy to help you guys out. All right, we'll talk to you soon.